Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a blessed day. Hey, I wanted to do a quick video. Sometimes we get some things in the comment sections where people are still a little bit confused about the demonic host and who they are. In other words, the difference between fallen angels and demons. About 6,000 years ago, sometime right after creation, Satan dispatched 200 angels to Mount Hermon in northern Israel, and they came down, landed on Mount Hermon, and they took among them human wives. And when they took these human wives, they had intercourse with them, and the children that they begot, they were the Nephilim. All right. When those Nephilim died, their spirits that came out of them are what we know as the demonic host, and they're glued to the earth. Unlike angels that travel throughout the cosmos, demons are stuck on the earth. Now, why did Satan do that? Very simple. God put out a prophecy to him that said that this woman, her seed's going to crush your head. So what they did was they dispatched those angels to taint the human bloodline so the Messiah couldn't come. And God wiped them out in the flood. And then all their disembodied spirits, they became what we know as the demonic host, or the demons of today. All the demonic hosts that Jesus were casting out when Jesus walked the earth, those were all demons. It says in Genesis 1:6, "And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God," that term only appears 5 times in the Bible, and each time it refers to angels, "the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took unto them wives of all that they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants, Nephilim, in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children unto them. The same became men of renown." So this group all died in the flood, and their departed spirits are what we know as the demonic host today. So listen, people wonder what's the quickest way to pick up a demon. And you can pick up a demon. Non-saved people can be possessed by a demon, and Christians can be harassed by a demon and have a demon cling on to them if they give it a reason. So the quickest way for anybody to pick up a demon is to deal in the occult. To deal in the occult. Anything like tarot cards, mess around with a Ouija board. I have a guy, a professed Christian, that recently told me he went to a fortune teller. Any kind of satanic game. Dungeons and Dragons, Charlie, anything satanic, you have a good opportunity to pick up a demon. Drugs and alcohol abuse will get you a demon. Drugs in the New Testament, women that do drugs, whether it be marijuana, anything else, they're called witches. Men that do it, they're called sorcerers. That's a quick way to pick up a demon. Or if you're born again, have a demon attached to you and harass the heck out of you. Sex outside of marriage, that will get you a demon as quick as anything else. Sex outside of marriage. Porn, watching porn will get you a demon. In your home, how to get a demon in your home. Go on vacation to some place like New Orleans and bring home a souvenir. Go to Haiti, Mexico, bring home a souvenir that's got a spirit attached to it. When I was in Chaco Canyon, I told these 2 ladies from England, I said, don't take any of these rocks home. This is a possessed site. It's charged. You take something home, you're liable to take a spirit with you. Don't do that. Be careful of anything you get at a yard sale. So listen. How about things that have a demonic representation? You know, when I was at Area 51 last year, when you go into the little Ailey Inn, they must have 1,000 different trinkets, all of the little gray aliens. Everything from coffee cups to necklaces to posters, ashtray, you name it. Little aliens everywhere. Those are all representations of demonic entities. Garden gnomes. I got a lady up the street that's got about 20 of them in her front yard. Next time I see her, I'm going to tell her, look, those are the demons of the 1800s. Little fairies. We see little fairies everywhere. Kids' toys all over the place. In the 1800s, where we have the demonic host now manifesting as UFOs, back then they manifested as garden gnomes and forest fairies. That's who the demons were back then. Any of those things will have a demon attached to it. You bring it into your house, you're bringing a demon into your house. What are some of the ways that the demonic host can attack and affect a Christian? Well, you bring any one of those things into your house and peace will leave your house. You'll find that people argue, they bicker amongst themselves, your peace will be completely gone. Things will start breaking. The quickest way for a Christian, a born-again believer, to have a demonic entity harass them is to be out of fellowship with God. Have something in your life that has taken you out of fellowship with God. Matthew 12:43 says, when an unclean spirit has gone out of a man, he walks through dry places seeking rest and finding none. Then he says to himself, I will return to my house from whence I came out. And when he has come, he finds it empty, swept, and garnished. Then he goes and takes with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter into there and dwell therein, and the last state of the man is worse than the first. People, anytime God delivers you from something and you return to it, you take the chance of getting 7 other demons besides the one you started with. Don't do that. Having something in your life that doesn't belong there will get you a demon attached to you. And I'm not saying possessed. There's a difference. A born-again believer cannot be possessed. But a born-again believer that's out of fellowship with God can have a demon with them on the outside, harassing them and afflicting them. People, places, and things. If you go places you shouldn't be going, like my friend that went to that tarot card reader, that's a good way for him to get a demon to hang around him. Places you shouldn't go. People that shouldn't be in your life. And things. Things that you have. People, listen, I'm constantly going through my house. I check everything. Because you never know what you pick up and you don't think about it. So what are some of the signs that a believer has a demon hanging around? Well, number 1, your health. Your health starts to suffer, and especially skin issues, rashes, things like that. Headaches. People, listen. Whenever you get a heaviness in your head and you go, man, I just don't feel right. It's a heaviness. You can feel it. That is always a demonic entity hanging around. You go off on some fantasy in your head and deal with it for like 5 minutes and all of a sudden say, oh no, that's not of God. I'm not doing that anymore. The minute you rebuke it, you still feel the heaviness of it. You have little pains here and there that make you start worrying. Something wrong? What is that? Man, I hope I don't have a tumor. Pains. Unexplained pains that come and go. All those things are signs that you could have a demonic entity hanging around and harassing you that you have brought on yourself. And here's another big one. You know what happened to Israel every single time they got out of fellowship with God? their economy suffered. Their economy completely went right down the tubes. Same with you. When your finances start to suffer, things start to break, you have to charge things you would normally pay cash for. You start taking money out of savings instead of putting money in savings. All those are signs that you could have a demonic entity hanging around. People, listen. The best thing you can do is simply ask God. Two things. Number one, Heavenly Father, is there anything in my life that doesn't belong there? Father, is there anything that has my fellowship between me and you all jacked up? And if there is, get rid of it. And the second one is, look around your house. Check everything. I recently, a while back, I threw away a letter opener. I don't even know where I got it, but I had it for years. And it had like a, I don't know what, it was a head of a woman. It looked pretty cool, but I mean, you look, you go, man, I mean, it didn't look right. I threw it away. Constantly have to check everything. But those two things, when you're out of fellowship with God and you have some kind of item in your house that has a spirit attached. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. You guys just remember, heaven or hell, and you get to choose. And once you take your last breath, it's a done deal.